Hi, Joseph Staub here, and today I'm going to do my first album review, and from the music, you can pretty much tell if you're a classic rock fan what album I'm going to review. And today I'm talking about the 1978 debut of Van Halen. Released and recorded in 1978, it featured the original lineup of David Lee Roth on vocals, Alex Van Halen on drums, Michael Anthony on bass, and the virtuoso Eddie Van Halen on guitar. The band demoed the songs On Fire, Runnin' with the Devil, Ice Cream Man, Little Dreamer, Atomic Punk, and Ain't Talking About Love before the album was recorded and released. 9 of the 11 songs on this album were featured on either the A or B side of a single. The only ones that were not were Little Dreamer and Ice Cream Man. This album as a whole is considered a classic by almost every classic rock and metal fan. Personally, I think it is one of the greatest albums of all time. It is definitely my favorite Van Halen album. So let's get into the songs. Runnin' with the Devil is inspired by the Ohio Players song Runnin' with the Devil. I think it has a great beat and overall musicality, especially Eddie Van Halen's guitar work and the guitar solo. I think it's a great song. It's one of my favorites on the album. It's definitely a classic. You hear it on the radio all the time. The next song, Eruption, is an instrumental that consists basically of an Eddie Van Halen guitar solo. It was part of their live set since 1976, but originally featured no finger tapping, which is something that made Eddie's style and this song famous. Actually, according to Eddie Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen messed up the ending to this song and didn't have time or the money to go back and re-record it, so they just released it as is, and nobody really noticed. Eruption is one of the guitar solos that made Eddie Van Halen famous, and it segues right into this. You Really Got Me is a Kinks cover that Van Halen played since their early club shows. They decided to record it and release it on the album. I think that this version is better than the Kinks version, especially Eddie's guitar work that adds to the song. It's definitely a classic song. It's not my favorite on the album. So, let's move on. Ain't Talking About Love is my favorite song on the album. They demoed this song officially to Warner Brothers the year before the album was released. The intro riff is one of the most classic riffs that Eddie Van Halen ever did. His guitar solo on this song is, I think, my favorite Eddie Van Halen guitar solo of all time. This is definitely my favorite song on the album. I love Dave's energetic vocals. The backbeat from the rhythm section just adds so much to this song, and it makes it my favorite song on the album. I'm the One is the headbanger of the album. It's an early example of what could later be considered as thrash metal. The quick riffs, the heavy drums, and the quick and heavy vocals. I really like this song. It's a great song. Okay, let's move on. Jamie's Cryin is probably one of the songs you hear most on the radio from this album. It's pretty much a bona fide classic of Van Halen. It's very bluesy guitar riff. I like Dave's vocals on it. Overall, it's a very good song. Atomic Punk is a very heavy song. It's my second favorite on the album, right behind Ain't Talking About Love. It's just Eddie's pick work and the scratch work on the opening. It's a very fast and heavy song. It's my second favorite on the album. Feel Your Love Tonight has an almost like Beach Boys-esque feel in the music and some of the choruses, like the harmonized vocal parts. Definitely not in subject matter though. I love this song. It's a great song. And let's go on. Now to Little Dreamer. It has a bluesy feel, especially on the intro. Eddie's guitar work is, to me, the only good part about this song. I think it's a filler song, mediocre. It wasn't released on a single at all. It was one of the only 2 songs that wasn't. It's definitely my least favorite song on the album, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Ice Cream Man, the beginning is definitely throwback to the blues era, the vocals and the quick guitar work, definitely until the band kicks in and makes it a very heavy song. The fact that this is one of the only 2 songs that wasn't released on a single could be attributed to the length. It's the longest song on the album. I think it should have been released on a single. It's a fun song. It's one of my more favorite songs on the album. And let's go on to the last song. On Fire is a very heavy, rocking song. It's an okay song to wrap up the album. It's not one of my favorite. If I'd have to rank them, it'd probably be on the lower half, close to the bottom. Definitely better than Little Dreamer. Every song except Little Dreamer I think is an amazing song. Little Dreamer is, it's okay. So that wraps up the album. I'm going to show some pictures from the original photo shoot, the effects shots, the original photo shoot here. This is from the remastered CD and the Van Halen logo on the back. So that wraps up my first review. Make sure to comment and let me know any albums that you'd like to see me review, any comments to make my reviews better, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and see you soon.